So I came across this video. We came across this video of His Holiness with this kid kissing him and telling him to suck his tongue. And normally when we come across something like this, we ignore it because we know His Holiness and there's many of stuff like this we've seen of His Holiness, his playful behavior. But this time when our friends started questioning us, when they were like, "Oh, can you explain this?" and the world is reacting in such an outrageous, shocking manner, we were like, "Okay, we have to put something out." And we were like, of course the world is very easily ready to judge. Like they see something like this and they go like, "Oh, this is unacceptable, this is shocking. Imagine if one of us was doing it that way." So we understand where the world is coming from, but we also want to explain you where His Holiness is coming from. It's actually a little hard to imagine because he's like the purest being there is, but let's see, we can understand it, okay? And that's why we're trying to make this video.
It was out in the open.
Right. Like people have to understand that this video is out in the open. He's not doing it in his private bedroom. He's not pushing everyone out, like, "Give me alone time with this kid." He's out in the open with cameras watching. This is live everywhere. Right? So if you're trying to hide something, if you have something wrong in your mind, you hide. You steal in secret. You don't steal like, "Okay, I'm going to steal because it's acceptable." So there's no wrong intention here. He's a very playful person. Like if you'll see his videos with top religious leaders, with like bureaucrats, with like politicians, with Desmond Tutu, where he's literally kissing him, where he's this close, pursing his lips, where you see him with the ex-Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, where you see him with these religious leaders pulling their beards. He's a very, very playful person. It's just that we are coming from a perspective where you and I, we have anger, we have attachment, we have hatred, we have lust. In this case, lust. So when we see something like this, our buttons of lust gets panicked and they're like, "Oh no, this is wrong." But now imagine if you and I remove lust from this picture, remove anger, remove hatred from this picture and become this pure being like His Holiness is. Do you think this is wrong? A granddad kissing his grandchild, me kissing a child, me telling him playfully, "Suck my tongue." You think this is wrong? But you'll have to imagine that there's no lust in this picture, which is hard, right? Because we have so much afflictive emotions, you and I. But His Holiness, he's beyond all of that. For 86 years, he's grown up with monks. He's a monk himself, and it's a old tradition of Dalai Lama ji resurrecting as Dalai Lama. So it's not just this life. I mean, you don't have to believe next life, but just look at this life. 86 years of living life as a monk with monks. So he's so far from all of this, from pedophilia, from like lust with kids or just lust in general. He doesn't understand all of this. So now use this perspective and see if there's anything wrong in this. He's a Buddha. Like that's why we have this perspective towards Buddhism, right? They don't see a difference between a stone and a Ferrari. They don't see a difference between shit and the perfect Japanese food. You'll have to come that Buddhism is not something that we find out there. And he, the Buddha, is not something which is out there. That's why for us, his followers, for his sincere followers, we actually take water to him. And we, like when he blows on the water and when by mistake he spits or he actually intentionally spits in this water is the holiest thing that we have now. Like we'll actually save it, like more, this is more precious than gold for us. We'll actually give a drop of it to everyone because it has Dalai Lama ji's spit in it. If he spits on me, if he urinates on me, you'll be like, "Oh, this is such bad behavior, you are blinded by your faith," or whatever. But you don't have to believe it. That's why I'm addressing for his followers. This is like the biggest blessing that we could have. And that's why I would just ask you to look at some other perspectives. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, why you think this is outrageous and shocking, but for his followers, for people who know Buddhism, for who know the Buddha, who is His Holiness for us, this is actually endearing, this is sweet, this is the biggest blessing for the kid and his parents. You don't know their reaction. They must be just filled with joy right now.
He's a pure being.
He's a pure being. And yes, that's it. That's all I have to say. I wish you a good day. Relax.